Hello everyone and welcome to Global Outlook. I'm Mary Sitt. What's happening right now with the oil and gas industry and where is it going? And later, a pillbox with beauty and brains that tracks when you need to take your meds and vitamins. Plus, an HCC international student from Pakistan tells us what's special about her studies here. Our first guest has 32 years in the oil and gas industry. Peter Wang is a geophysical technical advisor with Emerson Flow Solutions. He's worked for Amoco and Schlumberger. Thank you so much for being with us.
Nice to be back again, Mary.
So Peter, tell me what's going on right now with the oil and gas industry.
Well, right now we seem to be turning a corner in the market. Oil prices, as you may have noticed if you watch them, are firming up. When I checked before we went on the air, they were $68.30. So they're definitely a lot stronger than they were in January of 2016 when they were about $26. They've almost tripled since then.
Now, the higher the price of oil per barrel, that's good news for the Houston economy, right?
It's good news in Houston for anyone who works in the oil exploration and production business, definitely.
For the driver, though, does that mean the price of our gas will go up per gallon?
It means the price of gas, it means the price of an airline ticket will go up, it means that there's general price inflation in the economy.
So right now we're paying $2.25 a gallon for regular gas. Is that going to go up?
If the price of oil goes up, the price of gasoline will go up.
That's
assured.
That makes for a stronger local economy, though.
It will make for a stronger local economy, but people in other parts of the country may not like us as much.
Okay, so Peter, what happened before? Everything just crashed back in 2014. What caused
there was
that?
a real oversupply of oil at the time. And the market entered a state called contango. Contango is like Christmas ornaments go on sale the day after Christmas. No one wants them. The price is very low.
Right.
And then as time goes on, the price gets higher and higher. That's contango. That happened in the oil market.
Because there's so much oil out there in the market, it's like oversupply.
Oversupply,
so
no one wants any.
No
one wants it now.
But how did we get to the oversupply thing in the first place? How did that happen?
Well, the real reason for that was that a lot of new oil was found through drilling shale and fracking. Okay. And a lot of that supply was brought online that wasn't expected, and that's what caused the oversupply.
Are we still doing, the industry, is the industry still doing a lot of fracking
We are
now?
still doing a lot of fracking. The Permian Basin in West Texas and eastern New Mexico is probably the most active petroleum province in the world at this point.
Okay, this is a little off, but is that good for the environment? I'm asking an oil guy, oil and gas person.
You know, fracking.
What's your take on that?
Fracking is not really shown to cause any issues. There have been issues in Pennsylvania, where people have been shown on YouTube lighting their water on fire, but it turns out the gas in those situations was actually from shallow gas that came to the surface as a result of drilling and completion problems. It wasn't due to the fracking.
Okay.
It's a separate issue.
Peter, where are we headed now? We'll get dust off that crystal ball, or you call it the mud ball. The mud ball. Yeah, where is the oil and gas industry headed?
Well, as you know, there are a lot of forces that are tugs of war that make prices go up and down. There are big global macro things like interest rates, because a lot of this oil and gas activity is funded by loans. And so if interest rates goes up, that'll quiet that activity down. Just the general economy, the demand for oil and gas has been strong. Okay. So if we have a global recession, then the demand will go down, so the price will go down. There's a lot of different things, and there are things that are happening out in the Permian Basin that are not known to the general public. For example, there's a shortage of pumping trucks. There's not enough horsepower out in the field. There's a shortage of sand for fracking. There's a labor shortage in Midland, so if you want to look for a job,
go to Midland,
Texas.
To
Midland, yeah.
Why is there a shortage of sand in trucks? I mean, it seems like
you need a very particular type of sand to use in the fracking operation. You only get it from a few types of sand pits, and there's just a shortage of that very high quality sand.
And there's a shortage of trucks because the manufacturers aren't making as many as people are buying?
It's a specialized piece of equipment to pump it's not just trucks, but it's a specialized piece of high pressure pumping equipment that pumps the frac fluid into the wells, and there's not enough of them right now. And also pipelines going out of the Permian Basin are full, and also the Permian produces a lot of gas in addition to oil, so the question is, what do we do with the gas? So that's building up too. And then one more, let's see, and then Oh yeah, and then the oil that comes out of the Permian Basin is very light, and it can't be used by, it isn't in high demand by a lot of refineries. So there are a lot of different forces that are affecting
and these are sort of
the activity
uncontrollable
in the future.
factors,
They're
right?
uncontrollable.
They just happen.
They just happen, yeah. They happen
so sort
in
of
the
the
economy.
market dictates what's happening, sort of like the stock market.
Exactly. The
and,
market dictates,
right?
The invisible hand of economics dictates everything.
So if you're an oil and gas worker, whether you're out in the field, oil field worker, or in the office as a professional, I mean, should you be afraid for your job, or can you just sort of like relax and go, okay, that 2014 stuff's not going to happen?
You'll always hear from time to time stories about layoffs, but at any time in the business cycle. But I think if you're an oil and gas worker in Houston, and if you made it through the downturn of the last few years, and if your company is doing well, I think you're okay.
So I remember one time you said check a certain thing and some sort of indicator, and then if it's a certain thing, then
oh yeah, yeah. So
can you tell me about that?
Right. So trend indicators like the 200-day moving average for oil prices. Those are actually, I told people, look at those sort of things. Those are actually up for
okay, so wait, what is that?
Yep. So the 200-day moving average is a trend indicator which tells you whether a market is moving in an uptrend or a downtrend.
Okay.
And for a long time, the oil market was not in an uptrend, but recently it is starting to move in an uptrend, using that kind of an indicator, which is a very, not always a good indicator, but at least it's something.
Okay.
Something to look at.
Now, you've been in the oil and gas industry for a long time, 3 decades,
I
more
can't
than 3
believe
decades.
it. It feels like yesterday.
Tell me what your biggest challenges were, and what and your biggest, accomplishments, you'd say.
Well, I would say a big challenge is just staying current with technology, because the technology changes very fast.
Okay.
So you have to always challenge yourself to, sit down and learn the latest software, learn the latest techniques, and that's not easy. It's really changed a lot in the last 30 years.
What have you enjoyed most about working in the oil and gas industry?
I like the people the most. I like the people I've met. I like the relationships. Of course, international travel is a big perk as well.
You've lived all over the world?
I haven't lived all over the world, but I've traveled all over the world. I've made Houston home.
Okay. And what kind of advice would you give to a student, perhaps, who's thinking about, maybe I want to be an oil engineer, maybe I want to go into that field? What would you say to the students?
My advice to them is the same as always, is be flexible, have a sort of a second set of skills that you could rely on if the oil and gas job takes longer to appear than you want it to appear, and also live a lifestyle where you're saving a lot of money, where you don't have debt or you're paying off your debt.
You're debt-free, right?
Debt-free would be great.
Good for you. And I know that you're a financial planner too. That's why I'm asking you.
Yeah, I have a.
That's your backup career?
Yeah, I have a certification as a chartered retirement planning counselor. I've never practiced, but I just have it, and it helps me too personally.
But you did that as a backup?
That was a backup during the really dark times of like 2015. I wanted to have something else that I could turn to.
Good for you. You did something completely different from what you're doing now. But you had a knack for numbers. You liked all that stuff.
Yeah. I like finance stuff, obviously, because I talk about it all the time.
And what's the name of your book, which you can buy on Amazon now, right?
Financial Survival for Oil and Gas Workers on Amazon.
And would you say that the advice in that book still holds true today?
I think it still holds true, but I do have to update it.
Okay.
I'm going to update it with some new stuff.
Very good. Peter, thank you so much for being with us. Appreciate your time.
Okay, thank you, Mary.
Coming up next, a pillbox with beauty and brains. A young entrepreneur and her team created this pillbox like no other, combining technology with good design. Stay with us.
I've seen people's lives change just by attending a class at HCC.
Some of them might not have the financial means to go to a four-year university. That doesn't make them any less quote-unquote smart than the kids who go to a four-year school.
HCC is easy to get to. It's easy to apply and easy to become a part of.
It gave me so much confidence.
Once you finish your 2 years there, you can transition into a four-year university or go into the workforce.
It's affordable, it's accessible, it changes lives.
We have academic programs that help students get from high school into a university. And the data is very clear that students that take the path of a community college finish in far higher numbers than students that start straight into a university experience. Our students can achieve a baccalaureate degree in multiple fields from the universities in the area without ever leaving Houston Community College.
most amazing gift that you can give someone, is seeing individuals have an opportunity in their lives that they would never have again.
Our next guest had a great idea, and she made it into a product that she's now selling. Regina Vatterott is co-founder and COO of Ellie, a pillbox with brains and beauty. Regina attended St. Edward's University in Austin. She has experience advertising for thousands of independent pharmacies, and her passion is blending entrepreneurship with innovation to make a positive impact. It's a great passion to have.
Thank you, Mary.
So tell me, what is Ellie?
So Ellie is a smart pillbox, and it's designed to help people save time so they can organize all their pills in seconds. We send them reminders when it's time to take their medications, and we can also track adherence. But beyond all that, our biggest focus is making sure we design our products to be healthy lifestyle accessories rather than medical devices.
Very nice. Well, you brought an example. Can you show it to me?
I did bring an example. So the way it works is we organize by type of medication instead of by time of day. And we do that because now you can organize all your pills in seconds by just pouring them in. So I'm sure you're familiar with the traditional pill boxes.
The little plastic box you buy for $2.99 or so, right?
Yes,
and then you have to organize by day, Monday, Tuesday. So you're getting the one bottle of pills, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, AM, PM. Then you do the next one, and it takes forever.
It does take forever.
So this one you just pour it in by type. All the pink ones, the white ones, the whatever.
Exactly. And then you just program it in our app. You tell it what times you want to take your medication, and whenever it's time, you'll receive a notification to your phone.
Like a little text message?
And you'll just simply open the device, and the lights will show you which ones to take. So if there's one light here, you take one from here. If there's two lights here, you take two from here.
Oh, that's
Pretty
nice.
simple. Yeah.
And so all the electronics are in that lid on the inside?
In the lid. So there are sensors. So that can also share information with you. So if you wanted to give one to, like, say, one of your daughters, you could get notifications if they're forgetting to take their medication. So you can call them and make sure that they're doing okay.
Oh, that's a good way to track them too. When they don't want to take it, you go, you didn't take it. Ellie said you didn't take that pill, so take it now.
Exactly.
I had a kid like that. She just liked to take certain things. So how did you get the idea of doing this? I think it's a fabulous idea, especially with an aging population, right?
Yes. Well, actually, I had experienced forgetfulness when trying to take my medications as well, and I did try to use one of the traditional pill boxes, but I hated to do it. It did take me a long time, and I felt stigmatized for using it. My friends would call it my old people pill box, and I didn't love that.
Because it's like grandma and grandpa, right? Because they did that. I know. I have friends like that too. They will not do that. They'll open each 5 bottles every night and take the pill because they don't want to organize it in the pill box.
Yeah, so I totally understand that. So we saw that there was this huge demographic of people younger than 65 who of course still take plenty of medications and vitamins every day, but they don't want to feel old by using one of the traditional pill boxes. And so that's where we come in. We're actually targeting people 65 years and younger specifically. So that
because they're the ones with the smartphones and
the apps, they're the ones
right?
with the smartphone, and they're the ones who have honestly had the most demand for our product.
And I love your design too. It's very sleek. It's like sort of the iPhone. You know, it's like it's a fun product. It's not just a medical. I love the fact that you don't market it as medical. You market it as a lifestyle, healthy.
Yeah, so your lifestyle accessory. Yes.
So what kind of reaction are you getting out there?
The reaction's been great. So we did a crowdfunding campaign because we wanted to see the demand in the market, and so we were able to raise $200,000 through that in 2 months.
Really?
Yes.
In 2 months?
Yes.
That's amazing. Did you go to GoFundMe or something? Or?
No, so there are platforms called Kickstarter and Indiegogo. We chose to go with Indiegogo. They were just really great at communicating and helping our team. And with that money that we raised, we were able to go to manufacturers and actually produce the product. And so we just shipped all those units out to 37 different countries earlier this year.
37 countries?
Yes, we're gonna only do the United States from now on because that's a lot to take on. But it was a great learning experience. So we've just been taking feedback from users for the past several months, and now we're about to order a new batch and start just selling and scaling.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's an incredible amount of money you raised in 2 months. So what was the appeal to investors who invested in you? They just liked the idea, they had not seen this before?
So we are only now starting to raise from investors.
Okay.
In the past, we were just college students. We couldn't quite get those meetings, but now that we have shown that there's a demand for the product, we are starting to raise our seed round of $1 million. And so we just got our lead investor on that last week, so that's really exciting.
But how did you get people on Indiegogo? Is that what you used?
Yes.
How did you get them to put money in?
Yeah, so for them, they were going to physically get a product. So
Okay.
that's why they were interested. But also, I think we really did a great job of just sharing our team's story and did a great job of just communicating when there were delays. And we really honestly didn't do any marketing during that campaign. It was a lot of word of mouth. People thought that it was a cool new idea, and so they were just willing to share it, and that's how it got.
Did you just come up with this idea on your own? Or you just like,
No.
did you, a couple of friends or what?
Yes.
What happened?
So my co-founders and I all got together because we'd all experienced similar issues with, whether it was with ourselves or a family member.
Forgetting to take pills.
Exactly. And so that's how we got together and started to design the product and went from there. We did everything from school business plan competitions that got us access to 3D printers, so we would start 3D printing products and just taking it to the mall and asking people to hold it. What do they think about it?
Wow.
You name it, we tried it. Yes.
Where did this entrepreneurship spirit come from? Were you always like that as a little kid growing up, you know, inventing new things, thinking of new things?
No, I wouldn't say so. When I was in high school, I think is when I realized that I wanted to be in business, but I didn't want to be stuck in one, I guess, aspect of business. I wanted to be constantly learning, and that's honestly entrepreneurship. You do have to constantly be learning with it, whether it's how you're going to build an app or how you're going to manufacture a product or build a website. You constantly have to learn, and that's what I like about it, and that's why I chose to pursue it.
What do you think, what do you bring to the table as COO? Because I'm sure your team, you have different aspects. Someone really likes design, somebody else likes the sales part, someone likes the, you know,
Yes.
marketing part. What do you like?
So I like, oh gosh, I like everything. But honestly, so I have it's myself as COO. So I am in charge of operations and marketing. Then I have Hugh Wynn, who's our Chief Technical Officer. He's one of the smartest people I've ever met. He's in charge of the app, the device itself, the firmware, the electronics,
Wow.
you name it, yes. And then our CEO is one of my good friends, Abe Matamoris, and he's in charge of all the financials and making sure the business itself, legally, everything is in check. So together we, I think, complement each other. And since we're all very diverse, like I'm a female in the tech industry, Abe is Hispanic, Hugh is a Pacific Islander. We all have really unique perspectives.
Are all of you millennials?
We are all millennials.
So you're all young.
24 to 28, yes. So.
And so, you know, you're living the dream for a lot of people out there, but they see someone like you, they go, wow, she can do it, she's so young. So what advice would you give to someone who has an idea? And it's really hard to bring an idea to market.
It is.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you. My first advice would be what we did. We honestly started just serving as many people as we could, hundreds of people, before
Really?
ever putting money into physically build the
Like,
product.
would you use this? Is this useful?
Exactly. We did not go ask Grandma, now mind
right,
you.
right.
Grandma's going to tell you you're brilliant all the time. No, instead
Okay.
we tried to ask complete strangers, what are you currently doing? What would improve it? Are you willing to spend X amount of dollars for it? Those kind of questions.
You just walked up to people like in the mall and asked them questions?
Anywhere we went, yes.
Well, you're so cute. People would stop and answer your questions. So I keep walking. So you got really positive feedback, like, yeah, I would use something like that.
Constructive feedback.
Okay.
Because you don't know what the market necessarily is going to want until you go and ask them.
What's been the biggest surprise for you? You know, you thought it was going to go this way, and the way it worked out was another way. Can you tell me about that?
I am surprised every day. Biggest surprise. There's just too many. I guess I'm surprised by how much I did not know going into it, because it is such a complex company, just because we're healthcare, we're hardware, we're software, we're consumer, you name it. So that's been a surprise, just like the scale of what it will take.
But you love to learn, so you're learning every
I do.
day, right?
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Regina, for being with us. I
Thank
love the
you,
name
Mary.
Ellie Grid. It's great.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you. Coming up next, Pakistan sends its best and brightest to Houston. We'll meet one of HCC's young scholars right after this break. Stay with us.
An engineering career is a wonderful career. The HCC Engineering Center of Excellence created a new degree which allows students to take the first 2 years of a 4-year engineering program here at HCC, and then they transfer to an upper division college. Total tuition costs for that 4-year degree is under $20,000. More than 1 million engineers will be retiring over the next 10 years. We need to educate the next generation of engineers, not just for Houston or Texas, but for the country.
The Logistics Center of Excellence has 2 programs, one of which is the Logistics and Global Supply Chain Management program, as well as the Maritime Specialization. Any student entering the logistics program here at Houston Community College will walk away with the knowledge needed relevant to industry, because our industry partners are engaged in our program to help us develop it, to ensure that when our students walk away from here, they can get those jobs.
I learned how to cook from my grandmother in the mountains of Oaxaca. I have won many awards and worked in many restaurants. HCC was a turning point in my life. What those wonderful teachers and instructors taught me is priceless.
HCC is host to a prestigious international program that seeks bright young minds from around the world to learn about their subject matter and learn about life in America. Our next guest is Seeta Kumari from Pakistan, who is here at HCC studying international business. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Tell me about Pakistan. What part are you from, and what town, what city?
So Pakistan is in Central Asia. It's nearer to China and India. China and India are neighbor countries.
Okay.
So.
And what town are you from?
I'm from Larkana.
How big is that? It's pretty major.
It's like it's not like Houston. Oh my God, Houston is so big. But it's like Sugarland maybe. It's a small
It's a nice small town. Yeah, drivable, easy.
Yeah.
Not too much traffic, right?
No.
I love your outfit you're wearing.
Thank you
this
so
is sort
much.
of traditional dress, is that right? Can you tell me about it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, this is the dress that we usually wear to our universities or dinners. Mostly people in Pakistan, the town where I am from, people cover their heads as well.
Okay.
So, I mean, they don't show their sleeves much.
Okay.
Yeah, as I'm showing right
you can
now.
Get away
so this is a kind of a fancy outfit that we do in our parties and dinner parties.
So it's 2 pieces, sort of a tunic, and it's hand embroidered, and then you've got the pants that are wide-legged. Very nice.
Thank you.
Tell me what you're studying here at HCC now. International business, but what aspect?
Well, what else? I have a background of finance, and then I came here for logistics and supply chain management.
Okay.
But then I found my new interest in international business, as Houston is a perfect place to study international business because of it's very diverse. And as I came to know, it has a lot of international restaurants. If you'll find African, you'll find Pakistani, you'll find Indian, you'll find Chinese. So I changed my major because of the environment that I saw here. And in Pakistan, I don't really think so that the international business as a major is taught.
Okay.
So this was an opportunity for me to study something new.
And how do you plan to take what you're learning here back to your country, and what do you want to do with it?
Right now, for my career goals, I have been volunteering with Youth Forum for Kashmir.
Okay.
As Kashmir is a heaven next to Pakistan. It's so beautiful. So I'm going to work with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you like working with young people then?
I'm sorry?
You like working with young people? Is that it?
It depends. Yeah, it depends. I have my boss who is really old. So I like having conversation with a lot of people about their history, because, you know, it's knowledge
right.
that you should you can get from younger people, you can get from your friends, you can get from your father, your bosses. So I just enjoy having conversation with everybody.
What have you learned so far coming, this is your first time in the States, right? Were there any surprises?
Of course there were. I still remember my first day when I was entering into my apartment, and there were 10 different nationalities sitting in front of me, and I was like, woo. So I have learned how to be friendly with other countries, as far as I know.
And what do you like about the teaching style here at HCC, and how is that different from the teaching style in Pakistan?
So the teacher is dominant in Pakistan, but here a teacher is your friend. So it's more comfortable being here.
So when you say teacher's dominant, it's like a very authoritative figure, and whatever the teacher says, you do not question authority, is that right?
There are some teachers who are friendly, but still, they're dominant.
Okay.
It's like more of dictatorship.
And here is more, what, give and take? You can sort of argue with the teacher or question the teacher, and it's okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
And what about information? Are more things online here or over there?
Yeah, the one thing that I have learned here is the online classes that I am taking with HCC. In Pakistan, we don't have any online classes.
Really?
Yes.
And how do you like it?
It's good. It's mean people can work with studying. So it's like a perfect combination of your career goals as practically and academically.
Tell me about your family.
So I have a big family. We all together are 5 siblings.
Okay.
My eldest sister, she's a doctor.
Very nice.
Then I have a sister, she's pursuing her career in law. Then it's me.
So you have big role models.
Oh, of course.
Doctor and a lawyer coming up.
Of course. And then my brother is doing mechatronics, which is a combination of mechanical and electrical engineering. And my little sister is in 7th grade.
And what do your parents do for a living?
So my father is a businessman, as I'm a Sindhi. So that Sindhi culture is well known for their businesses.
Okay.
So business is in our blood.
So he must be very happy that he's got a daughter going into business, right?
Of course.
What would you like us to know about your country, Pakistan?
Well, there are a lot of stereotypes about Pakistan. I would like to break those stereotypes. As Pakistan, if you go to northern areas, my God, they are breathtaking. They are so beautiful. And it is a tourist place. But because of stereotypes, I think people are not visiting it. It is a country where people should come. Even I was reading one article, British ranked the 3rd most beautiful country for visitors to Pakistan, yeah.
Really? So if we went to Pakistan and put it on our bucket list, someday let's go, what would be the top 5 or so sites that you would recommend to go see?
I would recommend you, on the first scale, I will recommend you to visit northern areas, as it's more mountains, snow, greenery. And then I would recommend you to visit Islamabad, which is the capital city. It's so clean. It's like another US for us. It's so clean. It's so, there are a lot of universities. And then Karachi is well known.
Yes, we've heard of that.
Yeah.
And of course the food's be an adventure too to try, right?
And there are a lot of historical places in Pakistan as well.
Very good. Okay, we'll have to do more research and put it on our list.
Of course.
Thank you so much for coming and talking to us about your country. That's all for this edition of Global Outlook. I'll see you again every Friday and Sunday at 7:30 a.m. and 7:30 p.m., plus Saturday at 10 a.m. I'm Mary Sitt. Thanks for joining us.